Good day and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on this planet of ours, beautiful Earth. It's a nice, beautiful day indeed. Today we're going to talk about creating styles, and we're going to verge a little bit off of the normal trajectory because we realize that there are many questions coming up from our customers, and in the light of KETRON, we take care of our customers. Our customers come first. So what we're going to do is we're going to be answering your questions rather than following the order that we had before. We're going to be answering your questions and your concerns, and in the videos, it's a lot easier and faster for us to answer many questions using the videos than to be responding to those questions on YouTube directly. So this is to encourage anyone who's out there, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and be able to ask your questions. We're going to accumulate those questions, and once we get about, let's say, 5 or 6 questions that repeat themselves, we're going to go ahead and put that into a video form. So the number one for today, one of the most requested questions is, how do you create your own styles on the event, or can you do that? So the answer is yes, you can, and you have modeling tools that you can of course use, which have prearranged let's say drums, bass, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But the number one question is being able to create your own styles from scratch. So as you heard me playing there in the beginning, I was actually just going through a couple of the drum kits. You have over 80 drum kits in this beautiful machine, and you can use them to create your styles. So let's jump into creation of styles. And just so you know, what I'm about to show you does also apply to the SD7, SD40, SD9, and SD90, and SD60 as well. The style creator tool is also found in those units together with the modeling tool. So how do we create a style from scratch? So let's jump in and look at the screen, and let's see what we're looking at here from the top view of this beautiful keyboard indeed. So I'm going to get out of my drum set right there, which I had on, what I was playing with before. And to create a style, what you have to first of all do is you have to be in the user style section, because you can't overwrite the factory styles for the most part. So I'm going to go in there, turn on the user style, and let's say I'm going to go into my ballad category, right? And I'm going to pick something, anything. I have some demos there, pick that for an example, okay? And what you want to do is you want to go into view and modeling, okay? Once you get into that screen, let's take a closer look. Your screen should look something like this, depending on what software you have out there. I have a more recent software of mine, so you might be seeing some things which you shouldn't be seeing at this time, but that's okay, that's fine. The style editor remains the same, right? So I'm going to go into style edit, which is on the bottom right hand section of the screen, and touch that. So once you touch style edit, it's going to ask you enter the edit style. You say yes, you're going to touch yes. Now once you get into this screen, this looks a little bit confusing, but I'm going to explain to you what it is. So pretty much you're looking at what are your parameters right now. You're looking at your drum on the top left hand corner, and the default that has been selected is the standard drum set, okay? The default bass that's been selected right now is your fingered bass. And of course you have different bass features which are also been tugged in there into the style editor. So let's just go ahead and create a very, very simple basic style. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to show you how you can do it in arranger A, and of course you can do the same thing for B, C, and D. So the first thing you want to do when you're creating styles is you want to be able to go into the parameter, okay? So what you want to do is you want to go into the top the right hand section over there where it says parameter, and that's where you want to set the parameters. Now what is that? Your time signature, for example, your tempo of the style. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to touch parameter on my screen, and you have a screen that shows that displays as follows. Now because I'm in arranger D, the button that was selected over here, arranger D, you can see that it matches up on the screen, arranger D parameters. So I'm going to start with arranger A. Okay, I want to start with the basic one. You can do your intros, okay? You could, again, every style part, up to 18 of them, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. 3 intros, well, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, 22. Because I just remembered we have 8 variations here. So you can record 1, 2, 3 intros. You can record 1, 2, 3 endings. You can record arrangers A, B, C, D, and arrangers A1, B1, C1, and D1. You can record, and that's a variation of course, you can record 4 fills, and you can record 4 breaks. I believe I got that all captured. Yes. So let's go back to our parameters. You have your tempo, time signature. We're going to keep it at a 4/4, and we're going to keep it as 4 bars, but you can record up to 128 bars per style. That's a lot. That means that you can technically record an entire MIDI file, right? You can go like your verse can be here, your chorus can be there, your next verse can be there, your vamp could be here, and your outro. That's going to be useful for people, for example, guitar players who want to just play one part and play along, or accordion player play one part and not necessarily have to control the style in real time. So that's a good upgrade there if you have the latest software. So we're going to keep ours to 4 bars for now. Time signature is going to be 4 and 4, and the tempo, I can actually tap it out and see if I hit that, tempo right there. I can touch the tempo. I can bring that down to, let's say, 90. And if you want to hear it, you can actually turn on the click as well too, right? And you can also have that value of the click also set as well. So right there should be fine for us for what we're trying to do. Okay, so that's the parameter that I've set up for Arranger A. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to turn off the parameter, get back to my recording, and I'm going to now go to my drums. I want to record my drum first. So I'm going to try this out. Okay, when I get into my record mode there. So when I hit the record, it's in standby, right? And so it allows me now to actually test the instrument out. So this is a chance for me to be able to go up and down and actually, figure out where is what for what I'm trying to do. Okay, so there we go. I found that my kick, drum, snare, hi-hat, and everything is here. Also, it tells me my standard drum set, and I say to myself, that should be fine. The default value or volume is at 90 right now, which is okay. This is fine for, just to get started. And of course, you can always go in there, touch that, hold it for 2 seconds, and I can change my drum set, right? So right now, for the kind of music I'm looking for, and you can try it out here, as you are changing the sound, you can actually, mess around with it. And I think I'm looking for more of a techno for what I'm looking for. There we go. So if I switch the screen out so you can see, I'm actually trying and playing that in real time over here, okay, while I am actually switching them out on the screen over there. So I found what I'm looking for. Techno is my drum set I want to use for this one. I'm going to press the enter, okay, and that should put it in there. Press exit, and I should be able to get back out to my other part of the screen. There we go. You press exit and get back in there. So I now have a techno drum kit over there. So let's go ahead and record those 4 bars of my techno. Remember, I have my recording here in standby mode. I'm going to press start, and what it's going to do is going to do a countdown, okay, a click countdown, and after the 4th click, my recording starts. So here we go. Okay, so now let me hear what I just did. So as you can see over there, my quantized value was not quite straight, right? I didn't do a good job on that. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go into where it says quantize. Let's take a bigger look at that screen. And I'm going to quantize this right now with a value of 16, and yes, execute that. Let's see if that makes it sound better. If not, I have to undo that and then try another value. So that's a lot better. That's a lot better. So you can see that, of course, in the beginning, you're going to have some imperfections, right? You're going to start playing and dabbing with some stuff. But at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing, the results should come out a little bit better than what you walked into, right? So let's go ahead again and go back to that screen there. So we have the quantized value. I like the way it is. I did the execution. That's fine. I'm going to come out of the quantize, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some more additional drum parts. So I'm going to, again, go back into recording. And you can also loop the recording. So you can have it where it loops every 4 bars and you just keep on adding stuff. I choose to not do the looping because I want to be able to perfect as I'm going along, right? So that's why I'm choosing not to use the loop feature. So I'm going to hit start. It's going to count. It's going to play what I just did. And I'm going to find what other thing I want to add here. I want to add this guy here. Here we go. Okay, now let's try again. So I can hear right there's a slight little glitch on that one again. I'm going to go back again and quantize that, and execute that, and let's listen. That sounds a lot better, okay? So again, keep on going. I turn off the quantize. I'm gonna add some percussion now, some congas, okay? And those should be, go back into my record mode. These are my drums over there. Over here, I got my little congas, okay, and my percussion stuff. Okay, that's what I'm looking for right there. So I'm good to go. I'm going to go back in, start, and record and add my congas. This is going to be added in addition to what I just added previously as well from the other recording. Here we go. After 4. Okay, so now this is a neat trick, right? I'm not going to quantize the congas because when you're thinking about a live band, everything is not rigid, right? So the human aspect has to flow, from my perspective anyway. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to allow some room for error, for movement of the music. Remember, if you look at the other tutorial that we did, music moves. And that's the difference between what we, or some of our older generation parents, created back in the day when it comes to music and today's modern music, right? Today's music is done mostly on computers. Everything is rigid, and so it doesn't really move versus what we did or what was done by our parents back in them day, right? I'm now acting like I'm old myself, but no. So again, let's go back to this. So we have our drum track. We added a percussion. I'm going to keep it the way it is right now, okay? Now I'm going to work and record. I'm going to go ahead and record the bass, right? So I have a nice drum there. This is, again, all being done in Arranger A, okay? We have not left Arranger A. We are still in Arranger A. So I'm going to go ahead and touch the bass, all right? Fingered bass. I'm going to go back to my recording mode. Try here. Okay, and once I play this bass line, it's going to kind of give away the song I have in mind that I'm trying to program this this style for, okay? So record the bass. I'm going to go ahead and do a bass track. Here we go. So again, what did I do? I made a mistake. Let's say I can now have two options. I can go in and just undo that, all right, what I just did right there. Or I can go in and delete, for example, a particular part that I want to clear, okay? So in that bass, I can now go to my clear, for an example, and I can clear everything. You see bass clear, I can choose to clear everything, or I can just clear a single note. So if I hit the note right there, if I made a mistake on this note, for example, I can just hit that note. It tells you single C2, and I just execute and clear everything. So clear is going to clear that particular note. Do you want to continue? I'm going to hit yes, okay? Then of course, but in my case, I actually want to clear everything, right? I want to do the whole thing again. So I'm going to actually clear all, okay? Execute. Do you want to clear all the entire bass? Yes, I do. And I'm going to go back in here because I didn't have a feel for that. All right, and I'm going to get out of the clear screen, okay? Back to my regular. So let's zoom in again and look at that screen. So your screen is looking like this, and I'm going to go ahead now and redo this. So I'm going to touch on the record to get to the recording mode. That's my bass note right there. And let's start over again after I press the start. 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm done with that bass line. But then I'm thinking about the song. There's a part of the song, it depends again on how I'm going to play it, right? But let's just go with that for now, okay? So I'm done with that. Now I want to record, let's say chord 1. And chord 1 here, the default voice is piano. So you're going to touch that. And let's say for some reason I don't want to use the piano as a sound. Now I want to use, well, the trumpet is on because that's the main voice that the machine was playing with. Again, I have to go into record mode. That way I'm in the recording mode and I'm not in the live mode. So every time, if you notice, even when I'm in the style creation page, right, the event on the top there, it's always giving you your live sounds. In other words, what is active right now as I'm performing. Okay, so in order to get into the recording screen, you can hit the record button, and then now it will take you away from there. This is a very unique thing because KETRON believes in the fact that the user should always have control at any given time. So even though I'm creating my style in the style mode, I still have the capability of going into live mode, you know, to test out something, for an example, or to try out something, okay? So that's the whole vision around the whole thing. So let's get back into our style mode here. Once you enter the record, you know, the piano one, that's what I'm hearing right now, my piano. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and start and listen to that piano. And that's my piano. Test it out. Now, the unique thing about this is while I am in the style mode, I am still creating that style. I can try the style out. I can actually finger the style the way I would do it in a live setting. And that's the beauty about this. So I'm going to go back in here, go back to the screen real quick, and let's see how I'm doing this. I'm going to take you guys over to that other camera there so you can see. Now, I'm still in the style mode, but I can test my style out. Here we go. As you can see, it's actually looping that, right? And what did you hear right there? You heard the live guitar. So this is just a taste of what can be, right? We just did only one chord. Let me go in and record the chord number 4, all right? So I'm gonna do chord number 1 and chord number 4, just again for the sake of this demonstration. If I can get that to change. Yes, we go, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and go chord number 4, which is a warm sound. And I'm going to touch that volume right there. Okay, let's go to the screen, which is now at 45. I'm going to increase that. Remember, all this stuff can be redone and retooled and fixed and, you know, done later on. But I just want to show you how you can record this. So right now we have a warm pad. Again, if I play my sound on my keyboard as I'm doing right now, I'm listening to my trumpet. Why? Can anybody guess why? Because I did not engage the record. That is correct. I still have the live elements that are on right now, the trumpet. So I'm going to go in record, and once I do that, I'm back in here, and I want to record some nice warm pads with that song, okay? Here we go. I'm going to engage that, and again, start the recording after 4. Now, let's check it out. And remember, because I'm no longer in the recording mode, I can check it out in live mode. Here we go. So again, you can get a little bit of a delay there, but that's because of the audio. I'm going to correct that later on down the road. So I'm okay with this right now. Again, we just recorded in Arranger A, and we just recorded the bass drum. And guess what? I'm going to hit save. I'm going to save the style to user. I'm going to click on save as because I want to give it a name. And I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say Mark Demo Style, which is the original name that came from the other one. I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to call this one the YouTube demo. YouTube demo for you guys, okay? YouTube demo, all right? And hit enter. Well, guess what? Now look at the top left-hand corner of your screen. It shows you the current style you're in, YouTube demo. All we did was to create the various tracks and the various parts for drums, bass, chord 1, and for chord 4. Now, guess what? Again, there's a whole bunch of things you can do in there, but we're not going to go into that detail in this video. I was just trying to respond to this question. I'm going to exit from this style mode, and I'm going to get back into the actual style. So now this is my style, and this is where I now do my tuning. And this is where your Modeling tool comes into play big time, where you add your live drums and your bass and all the other stuff you want to think about, right? So now that we've put everything together, let's listen to how this style sounds like thus far. So it's very interesting. I guess by now most of you have figured out the song that we're trying to program, which was the Sexual Healing by the late Marvin Gaye. May his soul rest in peace. So that is just to give you an idea of how you can program your own styles. And there's tons of stuff that you can do with this style editor, which we shall release in a much more detailed video that's dedicated just for this style editing. But did you know you can do a couple of things in here? So let's dive into modeling, okay? And this is one of the most powerful tools that the event has to order. Modeling really is what? You're taking from existing bass tables or chord tables or piano tables or guitar, existing patterns, and incorporating those or using them in your style. Remember, these could be patterns that are either used in existing factory styles or user styles, or those that you create yourself either with MIDI or with audio as the structure be. Again, the event is open to any and everything, right? So far we've had our MIDI style, which we used MIDI drums in, but now we also did chord 1 that we programmed. If you take a look at the screen again, how do you know that? Because chord 1, which is our piano, has the blue bar on the bottom, which tells you that there's content in there. And of course, the level of the blue bar tells you how loud that content is, right? So in the case of chord number 3, we didn't put anything in there, right? If you go to chord 3 and touch the volume, what we are seeing here on the screen, there's a gray bar, it's empty. There's nothing in there, right? There's no content. Let's zoom into the screen so you can see that again. So chord 3 does not have anything. It's just a bar, a gray bar. Anything that has a blue bar, like chord 2, for an example, has something in it because it has a blue bar. So let's now go into modeling table, right? So right now we have information in chord 1, and we have information in our drums, and we want to spice this up. So I'm going to go into chord 3. Let's see, a chord 3 right here, which has the Brazilian guitar. Touch that for 2 seconds and it gets to the screen. Now you see where it says piano. So I do have piano patterns, and in the different categories or families, ballads, Latin, dance. If I touch guitar, it takes me to the guitar rhythms or the guitar patterns, right? And again, that's broken down into families, right? You have ballad, pop. So let's say I want to use orchestral, and I want to go into ensemble. That's the family I want to go into. And I want to go into a choir. So it's going to give me this selection that I can use as chord 3. Let's see how it sounds. I'm going to exit, and I want to bring that volume up to that choir. Right now it's 4, and you can see, lo and behold, it now turned blue, the blue volume bar on the bottom of that. That choir, right? I can go and touch that for 2 seconds and change it to something else. Or that. I want to try the strings. And all this while, as you can see, I'm playing the style to get a feel for how it's going to sound like in the real world. Okay? These are all coming from the existing table. So this is professionally done. So now it's amazing because think about it. It would have taken you a lot of time and effort to get those strings right? So that's been done for you by KETRON already. And of course, with the AjamSonic package, you even have even more of those that you can work with and select from. Let us do the work for you. That way you just sit back and have some fun. So let's have some fun together, all right? So we have those strings over there. I'm not too satisfied with those for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick some other ones and see what's gonna go with this music for now. sounds okay for now for our demonstration. Okay. Now, if you notice in the beginning when we did this, we've been working so far with Arranger A, right? So I'm going to show you a trick. We're going to go back to the style editor. You want to record Arranger B, C, D as well, and all the other parts. And usually to keep your work seamless and to keep it smooth, rather than recreating a recording from scratch, right? You want to copy and paste, copy parts from one to another. So I'm going to copy what I've done so far in Arranger A and put that into Arranger B. That way I don't have to do it all over again, right? So what do? I'm going to go back into my style editor, right? Going to get out of here. Going to go back into style edit. It says yes. I want to enter the style editor. And again, it's right here in where I am. Now, just so you know, in the top right hand corner, you see where it says major. We touch that and you can select the tonality, right? In other words, when I play major, minor, or seventh, I can distinguish and have various parts sound or be heard only when I play a specific chord. So I'm going to show you an example about that a little bit later on. For an example, I might want a stick or a particular bass line to be heard only when I play a minor chord, but not for the major. And this is where you do that distinction. Okay, so let's get back into the screen here. I just wanted to make sure I showed you that. But we're now in Arranger A, okay, and I want to copy. So I'm going to touch copy right there where it says copy on the screen, bottom left hand corner right there. I'm going to touch copy. And now it tells me what I want to do. So on the left side, it tells me my source, okay? And it's telling me factory and ballad. No, I want to touch the factory. I want to copy from a user location, okay? So now I've changed it to user, and the family is ballad. You have to remember the style you just created. Where is it found at? Is it in the ballad family, or which of the families is it found at over here? I believe in our case, it's in the ballad. So we now have to go in there and pick what style it is, and it's a YouTube demo, okay? So the YouTube demo style is what has been selected. I want to copy what section? Arranger A, right? And it's telling me what part they want to copy to the same style, Arranger A. So I do know that I want to copy not just the bass, I want to copy everything, which is all. So Arranger A, I want to copy all of that. Let's zoom into the screen so you can see a lot better. Arranger A, I want to copy all. Where do you want to copy to? The YouTube demo. I want to copy to Arranger B. I'm going to select Arranger B, hit enter, and again, all of it. So let me zoom out so you see what I'm doing. I want to copy from the YouTube demo style all of Arranger A into the YouTube demo style, all of Arranger B. Are you sure about that? Yes, I want to copy everything, and I'm going to hit execute. So now when I've done that, it means if I play Arranger A, I'm going to hear this. If I go to Arranger B, everything working correctly, I should hear the same thing as well in Arranger B. Here we go. So in Arranger B, it works fine. In Arranger A, it works fine. I'm going to now go ahead and tweak Arranger B a little bit differently, right? So I'm going to get back into my original recording screen, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's go back and make some modifications to that drum, right? I'm going to go back to my drum kit, and I want to hear, let's see, I'm going to go back to my recording mode. Okay, I want to hear, let's say, this, here we go, it's right over here when I do a minor chord, right? So I'm going to go in here to where it says major, and I'm going to now select minor. So whatever I record right now is going to be heard only when I play a minor chord, right? So I can limit my sound to be heard only when I play a particular chord type, in this case, minor, right? So let's go back in here, and I'm going to record this. I'm going to do that. Here we go. Okay, so now we've copied that part into A and B. So A and B are identical. I can of course go back in, but I'm gonna hit save real quick. I don't wanna go too far with this. I'm gonna touch save. You wanna save it already exists? Yes, it already exists. I'm gonna get out of the editor, exit. Do you wanna exit? Yes, I do want to exit. So now I'm back to this main screen right here. Okay, Arranger A and Arranger B. Get out of there. Okay. And go back into my style right now. So Now I want to play around with arranger B, okay? I'm going to go to view and modeling. All right, there again, we are in that chord, in that variation. Now, remember, this song has when we play the chord of this song, or the chorus, sorry, when we play the chorus of this song, na 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 na, sexual healing, let's make love tonight. All right, so that's for that part. That's for the what I would call the first verse of the song. Now there's another part where the bass line does change, but let's say I'm lazy. I don't want to program that bass line. It's a generic, like, walking bass line, for example. So in arranger B, I want to program or use the live bass, okay, live bass player. So I'm going to go into that live bass table. And how do you do that? So in arranger B, remember, it has that MIDI bass that was copied from arranger A. So I'm going to go into bass. In this particular case, I want to use the real bass. You can use either or, right? And I'm going to jump into that bass table, right? And I'm going to pick, let's say, ballad or something. And again, you can try it out and hear how it sounds like. That's the live bass. I'm thinking about the other part of the song. It has like a nice walking bass line, for example. So I'm going to pick anything, you have to just try these. Da, 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 da. Da 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 na 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 da na 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 da 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 da. So again, I'm just playing with these to figure out. There we go. That's a nice one right there. So in arranger B, I am going to use the real bass. I don't want to use the MIDI bass here that we copied from A. I'm going to turn that volume down pretty much to close 0. Actually, I don't need that. And I'm going to go my live bass in this instant. Now, because it's a live audio bass, usually means it's going to be a little bit louder than the MIDI. So I'm going to turn that volume down. See, this is where you start to do all your balancing and stuff. Okay. Arranger A, MIDI. See that the MIDI came on, right? Arranger B is the live bass. I took it down too low. I'm going to bring that up now. Okay, and this is good. And I'm going to go now into my chord, and let's see. I'm going to go, just for the sake of a demonstration, I want to use live chord here, right? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pick something, and then live chords here that are in here. Again, these are the live chord table that are provided to you by KETRON and also by the AjamSonic upgrade. So I'm thinking I had disco 1, the first one. Let's try and just get crazy and EDM, right? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. So again, remember that this song came out way back in what, 60s and 70s. So you're looking for something that's going to suit that kind of music. Let's see another one. Let's see. Nope. There we go. I think I found it. All right. Already loving what I'm doing here so far. Again, you're testing everything on the go. I'm going to hit save, saving user style. Make sure it's user style. Okay. Touch save, overwrite that existing. Yes. So now I'm going to try and attempt to test this. Again, I'm trying to keep the video short and precise, but showing you how you can create a style from scratch. All right, put some elements in there. And then on the other missing elements, you can actually borrow from the bass table, the guitar table, the piano table, the chord table, the live horns, live brass, live strings. All that stuff is a whole plethora of information and libraries and tables that are put in this keyboard. And also we're borrowing from experience in other arrangers as well too. So all our style libraries, for example, a lot of the good ones and the juicy ones that we've also used different parts of chord 1, chord 2, 3 of styles that were done, for example, in the X series, on the SD1 and stuff. They're all found in the event. It's a very, very, very huge database that you can actually tap into, especially if you want to sound professional. Because again, to create these things in the professional realm is totally a different story when you have to work with your DAW. Okay. So again, now we're going to try the style out. So I'm going to go ahead and play something again. Don't judge the playing. Just sit back and enjoy what the style sounds like thus far in what we've just done this in a few minutes. I guess it's yeah, like 10 or 15 minutes or so. Here we go.